To make Anna, you will need black, blue, a light blue, a little bit of gold, and violet. Start out rolling the black into a cone-like shape. Bond the top a little. This is Anna's body. Next, take some blue and roll it out into a medium-sized snake. Then, take a roller, flatten out into medium lines. You can also use a pasta machine to do After that, you place in the back of her and then wrap around. It's easier to ruffle if it's thinner. Continue doing this until you reach the end and they overlap. Then you could just cut off the rest and have it overlap. You may need to push it down a little bit. Next, after the dress is done, then set it aside and roll out a gold snake. You want it over Next, take it and wrap it around on his waist. Next, connect them and drag them down a little bit. Next, you'll need some light blue. Take it and you make it 2 even circles. Then you roll them out into arm shapes. Go ahead and experiment on the thickness. Some people they flatten it afterwards, but I just leave mine in that form. You have to play around with the size of them a lot because I don't really do an exact measurement. I just kind of play around. I like mine to look like that. And then you just do that with the other arm. And then add that on there. And it should look like this. You can blend together the seam of the gold better with the blending tool or whatever tool you like to use to blend together. And then next you can use the head. You could just use tan. I usually mix skin and tan together so it gives like a nice mixture. And I forgot to put these colors in the beginning, sorry. But tan is needed for a GB unless it's like a leprechaun or anything. Okay, so I'm going to go off whatever you want to do for the skin color. Once you have that, you want to put it on the side. And you roll it, the other size part, into a ball. And I like how that looks. And then this is optional, but if you take a toothpick and break it in half, it helps the head stay on better. Optional there. Now it should look like this. And you don't have to, but I like to add little hands at the end of her sleeves. But it looks just as cute without. Okay. There we go. And take her head off for a second and put on the cape. You just take violet and flatten and roll it out. To a decently thin thickness. And then you can cut out a shape. I just roll it out, and then whatever shape that gives, I just clean up the edges with my handy dandy X-Acto. And then I just flatten out the edges so it looks wavy. And then take that and I have to play with it a little. Cut a little off on the top. Should look like this. And then you just connect it at the neck line so it's all like gathered. Like that. And then her cape is flowing out. And I'm gonna have it so it's flowing out the other way like her dresses, but you could do whatever works for you. And now that it's all thick on the neck, you just want to take an X-Acto and clean that up. So it looks like this. And then once you finish that, you could place the head back on. And you have this flowing cape. Like that. Okay, now if you want, in the picture, you can have like a little button that holds it together. So I'm just gonna put like a little tie around her neck, like this. Just like this. Gives kind of like a tinted look to it, and then I'm just going to use an off-white for the streak in her hair. And this is what the color should look like a little bit. I'm going to add a little more orange to it. You just gotta play around with it until you get the shade that you want. After playing around with it, I got this color which I really like, and depending on how fine you want your hair, you could use an extruder, but I'm just going to roll it out. So if you want to have her hair braided like in the movie, you just take your color and split it into 2 equal balls. And with this one, you roll it out to however thick you want the hair to be. It's easier to braid thicker hair, but it's up to you. Just do one a decent thickness, and then just cut it into 3 sections that are equal, and then you should have a little left over, which is fine for the bangs. So you just take the 3 pieces and you braid them. For those who don't know how to braid, you just take the 3 pieces and I squish them together a little bit at top, Then you take the left strand and put it over the middle one. So it should look like this. Then you put the right strand over the middle one, which used to be the left. So you just keep on putting left over middle, then right over middle until you have your braid. After that, you could attach it to her head like this, and then you just place it onto the head. And you do that for the other side. Okay, now you just roll out the other side. Okay. And then you just cut it into 3 equal parts, or 2 equal parts, and then a little extra for the back of the head. And then you also need some white, or an off-white. So I'm just gonna use white because figuring it'll probably get dirty when I mix it. I'm just gonna roll some white out, and then here we go. And now you just braid these like you did the other one. Just place that onto the hair and lightly squish it onto her. And then all those extra little pieces, you like mark or make an imaginary line in the back. And then you just make short strokes into the braid to make it look like they were part of the braid. Like this. Just like that. And then do the other side. And just continue to place these until her back of the head looks good. Like that. Then it'll look like that, and then you turn it around. And I like to add a couple pieces of bangs, but it's completely optional. And that's how I do it. You can choose to add a head pin or eye pin if you make it small enough. I just made mine a little big, so I'm just gonna make her into a figurine. But you can bake it and paint a face and then glaze it on if you want.